common denominator.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Where else you gonna have this much fun?
You the man. You the man.
Todd Father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing, had to triple my bag. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Triple my bag. Yeah. Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
Hey, good afternoon. What's going on? I want to jump on here. Hate to say it, I've been pretty right on the stock market here being sloppy and Bitcoin continuing to show a lot of weakness. So wanted to update. I did do some nibbling yesterday in Bitcoin, just some nibbling. Was wanted to start putting on partial positions, but really thought we could go a little bit lower, so didn't get too excited. Didn't add Ethereum. It's down 228, so just want to go over the charts again real quick. Obviously, we'll go over some thoughts of any viewers, any things you want to bring up. What's going on, Mark? The Wise Temp, JR Duty, Try Cryptos, Springer. Some familiar names. Bitcoin, 89,100, down 30. Got the Dow up 6 points, S&P up, SPY up 1.9, NASDAQ up 80. What's up, Big House? Hey, Roger. So in front of us is the classic Wyckoff distribution chart. Up thrust after distribution. I did show, I believe in the Discord, really it was a couple weeks ago, a point and figure chart showing 85,000. That looked kind of far away, and now all of a sudden we're only 4,000 away. So I suppose here, technometer 41.8. That is not near oversold. So I guess 85,000 could still easily be in the cards here. That would only take about 10 minutes if we get a liquidation. So I guess that's probably my next downside objective. And then if we bring up Ethereum, nothing exciting there. I've been talking about a break of 3,000 somewhere around 2,800, 2,850. We're getting close to that objective. And again, that looks like we could maybe go a little bit lower. So Elliott wave counts, I'm not sure. The wave 5 is starting to overtake the wave 3 on Bitcoin. I did show in Patreon. Let me see if I got that here. I forget where I have it. There's what I was showing for an Elliott wave count. Since the wave 5 was getting so extreme, I thought maybe it was going to be a wave 3. So you can see here I had, I haven't touched this chart in a few days, so you can see 89,000 was kind of a level I had for the wave 3 to end, and then a bounce, and then another sell-off. So I'm going to lean, this is my count now for Elliott wave. So I'd move this over a little bit here. Somewhere here, maybe today, tomorrow, we get the wave 3. Sideways for a wave 4, and then one more sell-off, maybe down to that 85,000 point and figure objective. That would leave us a big ABC down, which would still allow us then to go to probably at all-time highs again, back to 150. If that's in the cards. You're having a lot of liquidation on ETFs. I was saying that's what we needed. I posted this morning, what was it? 550 million, I think it was, in the ETF sells. Yeah, 523 million taken out of BlackRock, the IBIT. So finally getting some retail capitulation. I think we need that. So that has started. That's why we're probably going to have more today, tomorrow. Then maybe we can clean this up. Seems like a lot of times on capitulation, it might take about 3 days. That's something we used to look at in the commodity markets years ago. So we'll see what happens here. But again, the Elliott wave count could be what's showing in front of us, and really that'd be bullish if that is the count. Otherwise, we got a 1, 2, a big wave 3. We bounce hard to maybe 98, and then we come down again. So we'll worry about that later. Let's look at a few charts. Let's look at ZEC, Zcash, still holding in incredibly, holding that 20-day uptrend like a champ. It does that many times in a extended bull run. So it has held that line really nicely, holding up extremely well. CYPH, holding in as well. Much stronger than I would have thought. Trading up there at $3. Shout out to Big House. What's up, Bud Time? AMD, Duty mentions. I was long some of that for clients, but sold that at 224, I believe it was, on the gap up. Did go higher, now back below that. NVIDIA's earnings at right after 3 today. I'm guessing that's going to provide a little more sell pressure maybe. Just maybe they can't beat their lofty expectations. But we'll see. Definitely, as you talk about healthcare, etc., let's bring up Merck real quick. This is one I gave to the pro traders at wyckoffsmi.com down there at 83.90, I believe it was. Still long Merck. Wasn't a strong setup for me, but definitely a jump and a backup, obviously by Wyckoff. And then another one I've talked about on here many times, Guardant Health. Got a buy down there on that at 55. It's trading basically 100. It touched 105 earlier today. That one looks extremely well. That brings up Amgen. I've had some buy and hold Amgen for quite a while. That one's holding up very, very nicely as well. PTGC. Continuing the downtrend, new low today. Not much to add there. These altcoins, we're just not having altcoin rally because I think, even with the members we've had here, the strong altcoins on every cycle end up turning down, going to zero. I think a lot of money that people put into alts, they have lost. So there's just not that money laying around to chase alts higher. So I think the whole market's changed here. It's going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a few specific coins like that. Rivian, nice little jump from 12 to 18, having a 0.618 pullback, it looks like. Technometer 40.32. That's one that probably I wouldn't be scared about owning here shortly. Dash. I know Elliott Wave was looking for that being friendly down there around 95, but it did fall clear back to 60. You can see new lows in the volume, price holding higher, so I think Dash is probably still okay here. Let's look at Link. Link still got some bullish divergences between price and volume. I don't really trade Link in a while, but I'm sure I was talking about Link coming down here and would be prepared to add some Link here, but I'm still waiting on adding Ethereum and adding more Bitcoin. Bitcoin still at 89,100. Ethereum 2,900. Let's look at Litecoin while we're here. That one is holding up relatively better than many coins. You can see here, once again, volume still hitting new lows. And price is still trying to hold higher lows. So can't complain about that on Litecoin. That's one I think, again, could do well in the next rally. Not much to add on that. I'm fighting a pretty bad head cold. Let's go back in some of the stocks I've been long or mentioning. ACNT is one that's done really well. Mentioned that down here around 1270, I believe. That one has jumped here. Oh, excuse me. A few more here. COHR holding up pretty well. Fabrinet holding up. Mod got smashed, having a big day today, back up. MPWR relatively trying to hold in. That one I still think I'm going to like here soon. Merck I already showed. MTZ holding in nicely as well. Neighbors I've talked about, that one coming down, but I think that one still is, it's knocking on 220. I think that one still is going to lead us higher. Rambus, I mentioned that one. It did fall out of the triangle. Wasn't expecting that, but the general market drug it down. Again, I still think that's one that's holding up well. I think that'll lead the next rally. And XLE trading at 90. I like this chart extremely well. You can see our new lows on volume while price continues to trend higher. I think the next rally back there at 92, 93 will be a sustained bull trend in oil stocks. So let's watch that. Litecoin, Doge, XRP quick. I know that's credible crypto. I think one he's liked forever. I had some Elliott wave counts here of 5 waves down, ABC. And then probably working for another 5 waves down. So I don't know if we fall below that 34 cents. Probably mopping up a decline here soon and could turn higher again. I believe you're talking about ETFs for some of these coins. So they're coming out now with some of the ETFs. I'm not sure. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. ARRR. That one you can see coming. I did mention yesterday on cores. There's CORZ, MicroStrategy. I did mention that I thought these would be ready to turn higher soon. MicroStrategy, we talked about selling that up there at 350. Clear down here to 184. That one, I think, turns higher here shortly. What's up, Jasper? Cody? Coin, Nick sold that up there at 370. I did as well. Trading 250. That one's got to be making a low here as well. SBET. You have to zoom in on that. Again, I mentioned to the stock Discord at patreon.com. I gave a sell on that up there at 1480, I believe it was. Trading 991. BMNR. That was up there at 5375, I believe the number. It's trading 2897. That one's got to be getting cheap here as well very soon. Tandem Diabetes. Doing well with healthcare. Not much to add on the chart, but that one's probably all right. Vivian, I already mentioned, but I'm going to bring it up again for you. That one had a nice run from 12.5 to 18. 0.618 pullback, it looks like. That one wouldn't bother me either. I think Tesla, as I keep mentioning, could be one that could lead us out of here. Tesla's trying to hold in as well. I mentioned 401.25. I don't think that one will hurt you if you have to be long stocks. Jasper wants to know the technometer. The technometer is not giving us a solid buy here, as I keep mentioning in the Patreon. Patreon.com/learncrypto, $40 a month. That's the cheapest 40 I think you'll ever spend. You can see here, again, I think this count is going to be a little suspect. Technometer 42, even, that's horrible. 38 is oversold, so we're not getting that. That's what kept me on the sidelines until I nibbled a little bit yesterday. We're just not getting that. We're just getting solid, sustained selling with price falling in tandem. Ethereum technometer 42.58. So, again, nothing to write home about, nothing telling me I got to be a buyer. Appreciate it, Jasper. Everyone likes the video, share it. Would appreciate it. I did jump on here much more live in the last month or so. I kind of wanted to warn it of a top and try to pick a bottom, so that's what we're trying to do. I've been warning of lower prices. Excuse me. I'm going to need a drink.
There is a high degree of risk involved in trading stocks and cryptocurrencies. Our thoughts and ideas are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your personal advisor or do your own research. Past results are not indicative of future returns.
My throat is getting way worse here. Too much talking. All right, ADA. Dang. ADA, Binance. I know this is one I've been talking about. Would break that 50 level. Maybe see 45. There's the wave 4 at 45. Let's pull that over. So we're down at the levels that I was expecting. So technometer 42.3, so nothing exciting there, but we're down at the level I think you can add here. Again, as soon as I pull the trigger on Ethereum, I think you chase all these other ones. So Pepe, I know it's got an Elliott wave count that was not looking for higher. Let me see where my count is on that. Oh, there it is. I've been showing that count on Pepe forever. That was showing a price of $34.79. So maybe not going to get that, but could. That was a huge wave too. That's been a solid sustained downtrend, so nothing to talk about there. Let's go back to BNB. Get a little more activity today on the chat for real. I'm sure we're getting some views over on Twitter and Facebook. BNB I've talked about, I know from memory, a breakdown to 850. We're 879, so I would say that's coming in here shortly. New lows on volume, price holding up much better. So 850 is a place I'd probably be looking to buy that. That should probably coincide with me being bullish on Ethereum. Here's crude oil at the top of my list. I mentioned there at the green arrow, I thought crude oil was bottoming. I'm guessing we've had a 1 and a 2. And maybe another minor 1, 2. I'm watching oil quickly here. I think if oil comes back here above this 61 and these previous highs, it's off to the races. If that happens, you want to have some XLE buy and hold. XLE chart looks really good. And if you want individual issues, you look at NBR. I gave buys on that much lower. Then you look at Kinder Morgan is another one that did well for me from the lows. Had buys back here at this triangle. Clear back at 16, sold that at 23, but now back in. So again, Kinder Morgan, KMI, I think that's another one that you could have for oil. You can see here, definitely as we hit new lows in volume there, price was holding, trending higher. I think that was good buying from institutions. See, it looks like a floor there at 31.50. So again, I think that one will go much higher as well. Again, do your own research. This is not individual investment advice. MCRB, pharmaceuticals, etc. Looks like after earnings that one popped, so hope you got that one. Duty, ride that one higher. I mean, let's go back to Ethereum. I'd been saying a break down to 2,800, 2,850, so we're getting that. You can see here I got the wave 5 marked. Technometer 42.6. I just don't know. I mean, I want to be bullish, but there's no divergences if you go into this stuff on the 5-minute. I just don't see any reason to be excited here. LAC. You can see I had a jump and a backup. That thing has acted well the last 4 days, so I would say, yeah, it's only $40 a month. If you're in our crypto Discord, it's only $20 a month. But momentum setups have gotten annihilated here recently. They will lead this rally. This list usually is like 50 deep. It's only looks like about 15 deep. These are stocks you want to own when this thing turns higher, so pay attention. Nugget, today's strength maybe changes that. I'm not sure. For now, I'm still going to look for gold and silver to work lower. I was short with losses covered on October 28th, which was this day. Looking for a wave B high. We did get that. For buys in a bull market, a technometer at 40 is probably a buy. In a sideways market, technometer 38. And in a bear market, you can see buys not till 36. So we're sitting here at, 40, 41 on Bitcoin. So not giving us anything. And for anybody new, you can see the red circle highlights is an overbought technometer down at the bottom above 50. It called all those local highs. That's what kind of warned me as we rolled over here. You had new high in prices, my volume wasn't. Somebody was selling as price was trying to rally. And then the overbought technometers called all the rallies. That's why I've stayed bearish. Then you had the sign of weak. But now 85,000 was a point and figure chart that I looked at. I know some other Wyckoffs even have lower prices than that. I think down around 70, 75. 75,000 is what could be a previous fourth wave. Let's see if I've got that. I got a lot. Strong support. You can see volume collapsing. There's an alarm on track. We're going to talk about that next. So again, 75,000 I think is the worst in any liquidation event. Do your own research, but I want to look at track here. This is one, if you're in the Discord, you know I'm watching this one. We're at the lows right now on this backup. So again, selling climax, automatic rally, secondary test, spring. Check a couple things. Hold on here. See if I can help it out. Hold on. The plane flying over is the pork blaster. Because I think track is, if you're into these smaller coins, I think track is one that could be interesting. I have bought a little bit of that. You're getting a low risk entry here. So don't put all your eggs in one basket, but I think having that one, that's one I'm going to talk about if we can make a low here and turn higher. I mentioned that here at 50. I mentioned it again at 65, and here we are at 48. But that's a classic setup, a lower risk setup, but in a high risk name. When I get on Ethereum and Bitcoin, then I think you want to jump on this one a little bit. We'll see what happens, but that's what I'm going to be looking at. The little Jim Cramer. So that's all I got. Again, I want to jump on here. Let's look at the general stock market a little bit. Dow down 50. You can see here, this is the DJI, the Dow Jones. Oversold readings caught all of these lows, but the last oversold reading was Monday, and that did not work so far. That might tell you the trend is changing. That's what's kind of making me believe that the levels I want to know. So I will say personally, I'm still a little bit short for some clients on the SPY, trading stock index futures. Technometer neutral. QQQ a little weaker. Technometer 44. I did do a video update that has me worried on stocks. I'm going to talk about that here real quick. You can see wave 5s are normally ending waves. So on this wave 5 here in orange, volume did not come in. That was bearish. That brought in this orange wave 4 or red wave 4. And then we had this sustained wave 5 up in stocks. Volume totally sideways here, showing there was no real buying going on. And now volume is really rolling over and hitting new lows really since July. So that makes me maybe to believe that this is a correct 5 waves up. And this one goes way, way back. You can see here, let me move them out of the way so they don't bother us here at the moment. Stocks are in a bear market for a few years coming. Let's not worry about that yet. But again, that makes that top a little more meaningful, I think. So be careful out there. When I buy Ethereum, I guess I just think I'll see how the next rally looks and see if volume comes in. No volume has come in on any rally in Ethereum since the highs. I mean, I do have an Elliott wave count there, 5 waves up with a red WXY down. I mean, that would say that we're going to, 10,000. Like Tom Lee, Nick, everybody's been talking about. But all I can say is I'll be a buyer and then see how the rally looks, or try to trail a sell stop and let it go. What's a clear signal that we put in a macro top and entering a long sustained bear in stocks? I mean, I guess the next rally high fails and we turn sharply lower. I mean, we just got to start making new lows. And it doesn't look good and it fails, then I think you got to start being worried about stocks that put in a major top. Trying to keep my voice here. I do manage stock portfolios at Charles Schwab, crypto portfolios with trading APIs. I am spending my days working on paperwork for a crypto hedge fund now that the public wants crypto with Trump on it, etc. So trying to see if I can get that launched Got to find some big assets to start, but we'll see. Sorry about the stream. I'm not sure why I started having an issue. I did my usual, and usually when I have Nick, we've had no issues, so I'm not sure why today. It should have been much better, but I can still see we have a slight issue, so. That's all I've got. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the questions. And Nick and I, or myself, will probably be here tomorrow. And we'll catch you then. Stay safe. Thank you.